All right, welcome everybody to the final game of the Wildcard playoffs here. I am your host and commissioner, Ralphus, and once again, I'm going to be joined by Kay Blair. Kay Blair, good to have you. Thanks for coming back and doing this other game with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's nice to finally be done with these quarterfinal rounds, the last match of it. So, and it should be a good one.
Yeah, so this looks like it's probably going to be a good one. If you're looking right now at the teams on the screen, you're seeing us the number 3 with 13 points, 3 wins, versus the number 6 with 6 points, 1 win, 3 losses. Interesting thing about this game, the Walking Toilets have actually lost no games. They tied 2 games, so they're undefeated so far this season, but they still didn't have enough points to be in that first and second spot. So it should be an interesting game on paper. It looks like TWT is probably the favorite here. They have Poto, Tigerians, and Denzoa, and that's going to be the starters tonight. Killer 007 has played a game as well, I believe, but their main roster this season has been Poto, Tiger, and Denzoa. And they're going to be going against Rip and Tear, who have had some issues this season, but they were able to squeak in at the very end. And that's going to be Stow, Skull Rush, and Disparrow. Interesting thing about this team is that the 2 of the 3 players here were part of the final squad that went against Dastin's team last season. So there's some championship caliber pedigree kind of floating around on this team. They have Disparrow in there, and they have Dosu in there. Disparrow's going to be starting tonight, it looks like. I think that you look at these records, it looks like TWT is going to win it easy, but I don't know. I think that Rip and Tear is going to have a chance here. They have a home field that they've done pretty well on. So what do you have to say about it? What do you think?
Well, what's important to note is that the Walking Toilets have a home field map that has never been played in the World Doom League before.
That's
I
right.
believe that is the ace in the hole that they need to, if they're gonna, put themselves over the top of this, that's going to be the catalyst.
Right. We're going to see that map in the first 2 rounds of this game. For anybody new tuning in, the way the playoffs work, it's a best of 5, and both teams have a home field. In this case, the Walking Toilets are ranked better, so their home field is going to be played in the first and second rounds. And then we're going to move over for rounds 3 and 4, well, round 4 if necessary, to Rip and Tear's home field, and then we'll go back and alternate between them. But that means that TWT has an advantage if they can just win the 2 on their map in the first 2 rounds. They only have to win 1 more round to win this game. So it's going to be critical here that Rip and Tear, on this new map that hasn't been played in the WDL ever, in a regular season or playoffs, that they can try and steal a win, or at least force a tie or something. Just something to slow down TWT, because that's going to bring the advantage back to them going into the when they get to their home field. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think right now the betting line was in serious fluctuation before throughout the day. It's kind of going back and forth. Right now, the pool almost has $500,000 WDL bucks in it, which I think is one of the biggest pools we've ever had. There is 63% of the money is right now on TWT. That actually just swung. Before we came live, Rip was favored. So it's been swinging back and forth, but right now the money's on TWT. About 2/3 of the audience putting their money there. So it should be interesting to see. I think that, I think that if we're going to have to make a prediction here before this game gets started, which it will very soon, I'm gonna go with Rip in 5. I think they're gonna pull out some heroics here, and it's gonna be interesting to see. Just if for nothing else, they're gonna get a chance on their map that they're very familiar with. TWT is 2/3 European. It's very late or early for them to kind of depending on what you are thinking. You know, did they stay up or did they wake up? But this was a time that they put down as available, and so it'll be interesting to see how they perform here. What do you think?
I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to say the Walking Toilets are going to win in 5 here. But it is going to go to 5 rounds. It's going to be close, and the loser's going to be heartbroken. However, it is not a lock, so don't come crying to me if you lose all your points, from my advice.
Yeah, and for anyone that's curious what we're talking about with the betting, you can join into the Doom Central Discord. We have a betting bot that everybody's been betting on all season, and it's play money. At the beginning of every week, you get $5,000, but it kind of keeps you interested in seeing what's going on with all the different teams. Right now, the top...
It's a great mechanism for predictions, what people think, where it's going to go.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see where people are always putting their money. Right now, all the money's tied up, but I think the leader might have been Ninja Dog. I think had about 119,000 WDL bucks. Started with 5,000, so you could definitely kind of make it happen there. You just got to pay attention and make the right picks. Oh, and go all in. And then sometimes you lose and you get salty. Back to the salt mines. So it looks like the teams are arriving, getting ready to get started. Looks like Denzoa is playing under the alias Dylan Rock, but other than that, all the names look correct. You got Poto, Tigerians, and Denzoa for TWT, and Stal, Skull Rush, and Sparrow for RIP. So we're going to get a look here before they get started at the at this home field that nobody has seen yet. So this is called Caribbean Catastrophe. It's a pretty simple map. Here's the mid. Not a whole lot to see here, right? And we have 2 entrances to the base here. The flags sit back here. Both bases are symmetrical, so... Oh, there's an exit here with a ramp and a bridge that, even though it looks like you could pass through this is solid, and you can run over that. So, in this area up here at the top, you're going to see a lot of this. There's going to be about 20 minutes of play on this map probably, so we're going to have plenty of time to check it out, take a look, and see what's going on.
Yeah, not a tricky map. No real tricks, just a lot of fundamentals. So, whoever plays better, and is going to win. That's a very John Madden thing to say, but it's true.
It's true. The team that scores more, they're going to win. So, Here they go. They're going to get started. And we're in the first round, so we're going to take a look at Stal here, captain of the number 6 ranked Rip and Tear, as they're hoping to pull off a huge upset. Only 1 win in the regular season. What do you think are the critical keys to winning this map for, let's say, for a team like Rip?
I think it's really going to depend on if the Sparrow can get can provide his mid support that he does, supporting Skull Rush on getting these flags out.
Yeah, and as you were saying that, Skull Rush actually had a pretty good run out to mid, but he was unable to make it past there. So it looks like Poto is going to be playing defense for TWT, and he's kind of sitting in the back. So we got a Poto versus Skull Rush matchup, most likely. But Denzoa was also there off the spawn. And about minute and 15 seconds into this first round, scoreless, but Tiger coming across the other side with the flag. He's down with 20 health, but Poto's able to get a pickup here with full health, and he strikes first. So first round, minute and a half in, TWT and Poto score first.
Yeah, like I said, fundamentals. Flag pickups work on every map, and you see it right there.
So Disparel, with a pretty good grab, he makes a nice transfer jump to that upper mid path, but he is taken down by Super Shotgun, and what is obviously a very heavy Super Shotgun map. I mean, that's pretty much the only weapon that we're seeing used here.
It's very old school vibe for a pretty new map.
Yes, very straightforward. The mid, everything's very visible. Not very many kind of tricks, so you just gotta kind of have to brute strength the other team and coordinate and get across mid. So yeah, in that way, very old school ZDAIM and CTF type of map. Nothing fancy.
And it's fun to see the different teams approach positions. Obviously, nothing's set in stone here, but other than it being played in Private CTF.
Right. Now we're going to take a look at mid. We're just going to free cam it out in mid. Take a look. We can see right now that we had a runner from Rip try to make it across, but he was unable to make it out. You can see 2 Rip players entering the base, but as they do that, their flag's exposed. But Stow with 2 big critical kills there. And we're going to switch to Disparel's point of view as he's on the way out, but he is taken down. We'll jump back to that mid view again, just because it's interesting to watch. Not a lot of in-mid play happening here. Kind of just hovering around. You're starting to see a little bit over here. Poto is trying to control this upper area from mid, but... And then Tiger on the way out. Another pickup here by Poto. Is he able to get 2 pickup captures? It is down, and he returns. So Rip able to keep him slow. They just need to generate 1 flag here. A low-scoring affair compared to some of the other games we've seen recently in the league. Only 1 flag scored here in the first 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah, no armor, no sphere, no nothing. Just SSG and running against each other.
Yep, Tiger with a grab, but he's downed, so all flags are returned. We're going to watch Tiger for a second here, just kind of get an idea of how he's running. Actually, Skull Rush with a flag grab on the other side, and he's out. And that's one thing about this map. The flag runs are so quick. It's almost hard to focus on one player because there's so much activity and so many flag grabs happening. In a map that probably only takes about 5-6 seconds to cross. So we'll take a look at the mid again. Kind of float around. And compared to earlier, Rip is now pushed up in mid, trying to spawn frag. Has Skull Rush on his way out, green armor, but he's unable to make it. And he's zeroed out. Both flags out right now. Tigers take it down, and both flags are returned. So, halfway through the first round. If you're just joining us, welcome. This is the first round of the game between the number 3 Walking Toilets versus the number 6 Rip and Tear. As we're saying that, TWT is able to score again. So they're up 2-0 in the first round. And, this is a map where scoring seems to be a little bit slower than other maps. Rip is really going to have to come out here and try and generate some offense, because so far they've been unable to get any across mid. For those just joining us, the way the playoffs work is there's going to be a best-of-5 series here. TWT is the higher-ranked team, so this is going to be their home field that you're seeing right now. This is going to be played again next round, and then it's going to flip over, and we're going to see Rip and Tear's home field, the number 6 ranked team. They're going to have an opportunity for 2 shots on that if they haven't lost the best of 5 at that point. So you're going to see at least one other map. But so far, TWT, the favorite coming into this game.
Oh, wow.
And Skull Rush, almost doesn't make it onto the stand there. Only 35 health, but he's able to convert. And now Rip is kind of back in it here. 2-1 for this round, with TWT leading, but only 3:15 on the clock. They're going to have to get another one to make something happen. Right now, Poto trying to get across mid with the opposing team's flag, but he's dropped and the flag is returned by Disparrow. 3 minutes on the clock remain here in the first round.
You know, a map like this where it's just a joust, you gotta wonder if fatigue starts to set in.
Yeah,
having to make a shot in 1 or 2 shots, or kill in 1 or 2 shots, you know, wears down on you.
Tiger with a good run across mid, but he's unable to get across. No team support to help him through. Right now, we'll take a look at the frags. Very close compared to the playoff game we saw earlier today, where there was a wide margin between the playoff flag, between the frag counts. Right now, you're seeing TWT 150, RIP 146. They're pretty much dead even, and you're kind of seeing that play out in the scores too. It's been a very close game. But the time is ticking down, and urgency is going to start setting in for RIP here. They're going to have to decide, are they going to start to push a little bit more and cheat up to try and get this flag and at least tie this round, or try for the win. But only 1 minute and 53 seconds on the clock, and I'm sure that they're looking at it.
I'm not seeing a lot of pushing up and spawn fragging by any defense yet.
Skull Rush with a good grab here, but only 15 health, and he's taken down. And the flag is returned by Poto. Tiger with a grab on the other side, but that was quickly returned. Or at least dropped, likely to be returned. Disparrow with a grab, 35 health. He makes the transfer jump to the top. Misses the critical frag, though. But it doesn't matter because Stow picks up the flag, but he's taken down, and the flag's returned. But on the other end, Skull Rush was waiting for the flag return. Gets another attempt. He's unable to convert it, though, and flags are at home with 1 minute and 9 on the clock. What do you think we're going to see out of RIP here in the final minute?
They'll probably send the kitchen sink here. It's the only thing that seems to be working.
Frag's still pretty much dead even, with the lead fragger being Stow, who's already posted 72, the captain of RIP and Tear. Tiger with a nice transfer jump to the mid. Sparrow with a grab on the other end, but he's unable to make it out. Tiger has a grab here, only 10 health. Unlikely to make it out. It's dropped, but it's still waiting for a return. Is anyone going to return it, or is he going to grab it? Tiger's able to get from the spawn, get over there and grab it. A huge misstep by RIP there to leave that flag sitting. And unless there's a miracle here, yep, and huge play. Tiger was able to go from the spawn, grab that flag that the other team did not return, and convert it. So 3-1 here in the first round. And so far, TWT making good on their home field. What do you think we're going to see going into the second round here?
Well, I believe that RIP is a team that knows how to deal with adversity. I mean, they're definitely going to bounce back. That flag from Tiger at the end was really just a backbreaker because someone just turned around, made the frag, and then just walked away from it. No one made the return.
Yeah, and that's just in this league at this high level of play, one thing you cannot do is just leave your flag laying around without, it's just a fundamental. You just pretty much want to return that flag in almost all instances. Sometimes there might be a strategic reason you want to let it sit there, but there wasn't one that time, and that was just a miss by RIP probably in that final minute. They were, working through what they were doing. So 4 seconds, we're going to see them go back into the same map on the second round. And we're going to just kind of float through mid and see how the teams push here. Tiger already with a grab, but he's taken down. On the other end, Stow with the early grab. Looks like Rip did a early round push here in the second round. And if you're just joining us, welcome. This is the second round of this playoff game. TWT able to win that first round in this best of 5, and right now the number 6 Rip is looking to get back into this. So early in this round, a lot of game to be played.
Starting to see Skull Rush play a little bit more sneaky as a runner. Hard to get any sort of sneak going on though in this mid. You are so exposed.
Yeah, there's really not a lot of room to hide, but he walks right in. But he misses the. That's how it dropped under the stairwell there, and Skull Rush alerted him to his presence by making that shot. Now Skull Rush with a pretty good grab here. Oh, a nice little. He's trying to move back and forth across the map and pull that defender away, but unable to do it there because, you know, one problem here is this map is so small that when you try to run those sorts of moves on a defender, the other team, excuse me, I had to take a drink of water. The other team is spawning around you. The longer you wait, your defenders are killing them and causing more problems for you. So there's something to be said about get in, get out. You spend too much time waiting around, there's a good chance that someone's going to spawn right next to you, and we've seen it for years.
Yep. There's only so much you can do. You only have one SSG, and 2 or 3 people can spawn right next to you as a runner, and nothing you can do.
Yeah, that's really a map-dependent thing. On this map, you're just totally exposed. They're going to spawn around you. You need to get out, get to your team.
Yep.
So right now, Skull Rush with a grab, but he's unable to make it across. We'll take a look at him, see what he's up to. For Rip, as they try to put a couple more scores on the board here, they only have 1 from the first round. It was not enough to take that round. So there's going to be another situation where Rip is leaving that flag sitting up top, not returning it. There you go. Desparrow heads over to return it, off screen, off camera. We'll take a look at the mid here again, as we're going to have a flag run coming out the mid here, but as you can see, in blue, TWT swarmed that runner. And right now, we're going to see a Rip runner, Skull Rush, come out, but all 3 players are there for TWT swarming him. So it's, you know, you don't see a lot of activity in mid until you do.
Yeah, until someone tries to run out with the flag, and then they're just... It's like SEAL Team 6 on them immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that right now, probably TWT is just thinking, well, all we got to do really is win or tie, and we're in the driver's seat. You know, we won our first game. That's a good thing. And Skull Rush sitting, waiting, trying to pull something off, and then off camera, unfortunately, we missed the capture by, it looked like Poto was able to capture it. So TWT goes up here in the second round.
That looked like a teaching moment for Skull Rush. You cannot stand and wait and hide with the flag. There's no hiding spots. You gotta go.
Yeah, not on this map. You're just exposed. I think next map, when they get on their home field, we're going to see a lot of opportunities for hiding. It's a much different style map than this. But this one, you really just have to kind of go. So Stal, as the defenders, stepping up, getting a grab. He's taken down. So they're trying to apply a little more pressure here. And you're seeing that Stal is stepping up into the flag room, making some grabs. It looks like they might have made some adjustments.
Yeah, still plenty of time for Rip to try and split this home field.
The Sparrow right now drops back on defense. We've been spending so much time watching Tiger and Skull Rush that we haven't really seen a first-hand view of Desparrow or Stal this game very much. Flag dropped onto the bridge. A pretty smart play almost by TWT because Poto was able to step up there. He was going to try and grab that flag. The flag does fall through the bridge, but Rip was ready for him, and they were able to take him down. So right now, Sparrow kind of making some errant shots, but he's able to get a kill. He's going to need to get up there to get that return, though. The flag is still sitting there. Oh, and it's returned. So. So halfway through the second round. 4 minutes, 21 seconds on the clock. And TWT is leading this round 1-0, and they are, in fact, leading the round score 1-0. So a win here is going to put TWT up. They're going to put it into a match point situation where if just one more win after that on any map or round will send them to the next round to face the the number 1 ranked. No, they're going to face the number 2 ranked best ever. Whoever wins this game. Tiger with a great pick up there, but unable to take it all away. A lot of great teamwork here you're seeing from TWT in mid, though, when they have to ferry that flag across. Rip, they're getting a lot of good runs, like Skull Rush making it out the mid here, but nobody there to assist him. And I say that as somebody picks up the flag. Stal picks the flag up. Now the Sparrow picks the flag up. Three pickups, almost on the stand. Unable to do it, though. And the Sparrow spawns. He's chasing the runner. Tiger has 14 health. Tiger makes it across. So, 3 minutes, 4 seconds on the clock. Yep. You know, that was another situation where one little kill in a different direction, Rip would have been up 1-1, and they would have been tied, and instead they got clapped. Got clapped out.
Yep.
So, 2 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. Rip's going to have to make some decisions here. Do they want to change their style of play? Do they want to push more? What do they want to do? Tiger with the flag, runs across, he's down. Flags are returned. 2 minutes 30 on the clock. 1/4 of this round remains. And Rip is in a situation where they really are going to want to try and at least force a tie here. A loss does nothing for them. Backs them into a corner. They have to win all the rounds ahead of them at that point. Tiger with a pretty decent run makes it across, but he's taken down in mid. Rip's able to return.
Yeah, looking pretty dire for Rip right now.
Yeah, and offense seems to be an issue for them this game. I mean, they're getting the flags out to mid, but they're not able to get them across except for that one time, in which case all 3 TWT players are able to get their hands on the flag, but here we go, Skull Rush with an opportunity, but he stops. He tries to get tricky, and he could possibly make it, and it's the returned. Another chance, another opportunity for Rip there while they were waiting for the flag return, and then, just like last time, TWT's all 3 of their players in the base, they get the return, and, yeah, so, I mean, that's probably it for Rip on these maps. TWT able to get 2 flags the exact same way by near calls for Rip, and now you see that they're just kind of pouring it on here in the final moments of this second round.
Yeah, it's clear that Rip mentally has moved on to their own home field. This will be an issue if they bring it to round 5, though.
We're seeing the Sparrow run, and he's able to put a score on the board finally for Rip, so maybe a little bit of momentum here. Maybe they think, hey, maybe Sparrow should have been running this whole time. I'm not really sure because it looks like Styles about to score another one, and they do. Unless we're about to see some sort of insane comeback, Rip's able to roll off 2 scores here in the final minute, but I'm not sure there's enough time for them to make it happen. Tiger on his way across. He's unable to make it. 20 seconds on the clock. That's going to be it. I don't think we're going to be seeing any sort of comebacks in this second round. But Rip showing signs of life at least, so maybe we'll see something on their home field as they head into this 60-second intermission and get to kind of put things back together. So, 2 rounds in. TWT leads 2-0. RIP. Not the outcome they were looking for, but, you know, they have a chance here. They're going to go to their home field. They get at least this round coming up in this best of 5. So, they're going to need to win or at the very least tie to push a 4th round. And they had success on this map last year. This might be kind of an unfamiliar territory for Poto's team. They haven't played this map this season. I don't know how much they've practiced it. It'll be interesting to see if Rip comes out and is able to make something happen.
Yeah, Rip has got to come out and figuratively punch them in the mouth. There's no other way that I see them staying in this.
I suppose if they are able to actually punch them in the mouth, literally.
That would also help.
Yeah, that would be beneficial probably. So, we're going to take a look at Stal here for a moment. Watch him play a little defense. And this map has been a mainstay. This is a newer version of the map, kind of revised from the older versions that many people have seen in prior years, but still fundamentally pretty much the same map.
Red flag return.
And Stal just kind of waiting. Not seeing a lot of anybody. Where's TWT? And we saw him take down Poto. On the other side of the map, Sparrow gets a pretty good run, makes it out the mid. It's picked up by Skull Rush, who's able to lob a rocket back at Poto. And now we're working with some weapons other than the Super Shotgun this game. And Rip strikes on their home field. So 1 minute in here, and Rip's ready to go. It's already looking a little bit different than what we just saw on that other map. And that's got to bode well for them. Tiger has the flag. He's able to go through this teleporter to his back right here on the screen. He steps through it, and it's going to teleport him up there. He almost gets hit with his own rockets, though. And the flag is down, sitting in that base. Poto gets up there, grabs it. And he's going to try and walk it across. He tries a rocket jump. It fails because he was shot with the Super Shotgun by an opposing player, and it kind of knocked him out of the splash damage range there.
Yeah, that always makes you look funny.
Flag drop, flag return.
But nobody on Rip right now is laughing because they are probably deadly serious about figuring out how to win these games and then go back and just take 1 round on that other map. Alternatively, they could win these 2 games, just tie that map, and then they would come back here for a round 6. Not that I would ever advise anyone plays for a tie, because I don't think that's ever really worked out for anybody.
Yeah, you can just tell this map has different strengths. You know, there's no playing it. You know, you can be sneaky, you can play it straight, you can overpower. That previous map, you can only overpower.
Yeah, this map kind of caters to a different skill set. It's kind of hard to push and run like you could in the other one, but in spite of that, TWT is able to get across, score. Tilting Rip a little bit. Anytime you see players start dropping chat, you know that could be a bad thing, because mentally they're just stopping the chat. So, not good. We've seen it. Usually doesn't work out for a player. It means that they're all over the place mentally. Skull Rush with a good grab here. He's able to get a kill. He just needs some support coming across mid. He's unable to get support to get into the base, which is a bummer because he had green armor. And it was very close to doing it, but he's right back at it with another attempt. He teleports across. He makes it over to the water area where he's able to grab that green armor again. He doubles back, and he's going to wait now. He's going to wait for his team to kind of clear out, but you can hear out of his left ear. That's right. One of these players spawned there. It was Denzoa. He dropped down and faced him, and then he ended up getting taken down, while the TWT player made it out to mid as well, but was killed inside that pipe. 6 minutes on the clock, tied up here in the 3rd round. For anyone just joining us, TWT leads 2-0. Rip needs to win this round, or at least tie it, if they want to stay alive in these playoffs.
And Tiger with a little sneaky run.
Yep, Tiger makes it across. He comes out of the water. He's over. Oh, but he has his fist out with a bad switch, bad weapon switch. Skull Rush on the other side has a flag. He makes it into his entrance area. That's the second time we've seen that, where he makes it to that almost into the base, but doesn't have the support he needs to get around the corner. And right now, both flags out. Both teams holding the flags in opposing lava areas, but the Sparrow makes a teleport, and he's in the pool, the armor pool. And Poto, meanwhile, on the Rip base, is just kind of hanging out, waiting at the teleporter, waiting to see what happens, biding his time. And he tries to make a trick jump, fails, so he's just going to go right out through the lift, it looks like. Meanwhile, Skull Rush as well out the opposing team's lift. Another nice rocket by Skull Rush there to get the kill. Now we're in a standoff situation. This is a huge moment for Rip in particular because and Skull Rush unable to make that jump up. And Poto scores. When the bright lights are on, you got to make those plays, and Skull Rush just missed the jump and he was able to get taken down pretty quickly. So Stal has the flag here. Only 14 health though, so he's kind of holding. He's going to try and farm a little bit of health. He's able to do so. He grabs 50 up top. He gets a nice kill coming across mid. Can someone cover him on the way in? 5 health. No!
Oh,
TWT,
man.
all 3 players in the base. They get Stal. Stal almost puts it on the flag stand. And that's sad. Sad to see. So TWT makes the teleport. They're in the pool, the green armor pool right now. And that is returned. Meanwhile, Skull Rush walks it across. Scores. We didn't get a chance to see that run, but they do score it, and they are tied up. But Poto has the flag. He's out to mid through the pipe. He made the trick jump or a rocket jump that we missed, but he makes it in their base. 9 health. Down.
Great return.
Huge return there by the Sparrow. Big play. 3 minutes, 26 seconds on the clock. Skull Rush has the flag. Good run. 100 health. Takes a shot on a defender that had no idea where he was. You almost got to think maybe he shouldn't have made that shot. Just walked right out. He alerted him, but he still makes it across mid. He's getting tailed. It's the 3rd time we've seen that with a Skull Rush run where he makes it into that entrance area and he's killed. So Rip leaving a lot of scores on the table, unfortunately. I mean, they're getting very close. And now Skull Rush shooting some crazy rockets out here. Take a look at Poto, who's going to drop the lift here on the red base. Looks like he's going in for a grab. He grabs the flag, and he's going to head right out to mid. And there's multiple Rip defenders, and they're there to stop him. 2 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. Tied up here in the 3rd round, 2-2, but the number 3 ranked Walking Toilets do lead 2-0 over Rip and Tear. Rip and Tear must win this round, or at least tie, to get another round out of this map. And the game we saw earlier, that was a 3-rounder, so could we possibly see 2 3-round playoff games here in the first round? Skull Rush with 15 health. Both flag runners in each other's presence. Is he going to jump down and make... Oh, he's going to try for the return. Errant move. Poto's able... All of TWT was there. They weren't able to get the return. The flag runner jumped down, exposed himself, tried to get that return, but it ended up hurting them. And now TWT leading 3-2. And you're probably going to see them start to lay back a little more with only 1 minute and 40 on the clock here. The Sparrow with a pretty good run. He's out to mid. Can he get some support? No. 1 minute 30 on the clock. Tiger has a flag for TWT. Has a chance to just hold the flag, kill the round, and walk out of here with the win. But he's down. 1 minute, 20 seconds on the clock. 80 seconds to work with here for Rip. They need to at least tie if they want to try and make it a game. They're going to need to go 6 rounds to win if they tie this, but they need to tie it up. 1 minute, 5 seconds on the clock. 1 minute left. We're watching Tiger walking through the pipes. Tiger gets a kill, only 4 health. He's just holding, and he's taken down. The Sparrow out to his own pipe. If he could just score this, they have a shot. They need...
Oh!
Nobody there, though. Nobody there. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Rip has so many opportunities this game that are all just kind of left hanging there. Skull Rush with another chance at a run here. Oh, everything we've seen, it looks like Rip had played the better game on this map, but you look at the score, and it's 3-2 TWT this round, and unless they can pull something off here in the final, there's one more chance at a run. That looks like that's it. And, wow. So a good game by both teams, but TWT pulls it off. They're going to head on to play Best Ever next week. And unfortunately for Rip, that's the end of the road for them. They played a great game here across all 3 rounds, but unfortunately, they weren't able to pull it off in the end. So, but a good season by Rip. They made a little playoff run there. At the very end, they slid in. So now the matchups are set for the week coming up. We're going to see TWT, the number 3 team, versus the number 2 team, Best Ever. And we're going to see the number 5 ranked Osaso Gapegua versus the number 1 ranked Sawyer for Plex, SFP, who have been a force this season. So, yeah, it should be some interesting games coming up here in this next week.
Tragic for Rip, you know, they were trying, but just couldn't click. You could see, you know, there was some good stuff there, but like, you know, they were firing too early or firing too late. They just were never on the same page. And TWT they played a good game.
Yeah, and you know, credit to Rip. They had a tough time getting into playoffs. They slid in the last week. They won their game like they needed to do. The Super Shotgun Spurs lost like they needed. And they played a good game here. You know, they weren't able to win it, but they did play a good game. So it's tough, but TWT is very good. And that's just the way it goes sometimes, you know. One team has to win and one team has to lose. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to have 2 more games coming up for you next week in the semifinals. The number 4 versus, or the number 1 versus the number 5, and the number 2 versus number 3. Those should be great games, and they're going to lead to the final game 2 weeks from now, the Demon Sphere Championship Classic 12. And we look forward to broadcasting these next 3 games to you, and hopefully they're all great. So, from myself, for Blair, for Doom Central, for the World Doom League, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.